Today, we're going to look into something that just might change how we think about AI and creativity. Every time a machine produces something that feels new, an image, a poem, a line of code, we tend to think, is this a true creation or just a remix of what we've seen before? Well, buckle up because the story of Google DeepMind's AlphaEvolve is pushing us toward a very different answer and one that hints of something that's genuinely novel. Here's what's remarkable. AlphaEvolve isn't just trying to crunch through vast data, it appears to be doing something more profound. It's actually inventing new algorithms, original solutions in areas where humans have spent decades refining the best we thought possible. And it isn't some theoretical lab experiment. We're talking about concrete improvements in things like data center operations, computer chip layouts, and even the very algorithms that power language models, the same models you and I use every day. How does it work? Well, AlphaEvolve combines two powerful AI techniques. First, it draws from Google's Gemini models, and those are known for their advanced coding capabilities. Then it adds an evolutionary twist. Think of it as survival of the fittest, but for algorithms. It generates a pool of possible solutions, rigorously tests them, and breeds the best performing ones into the next generation. And it does this over and over again. The cycle of creation, testing, and refinement leads to algorithms that don't just match existing methods, they sometimes outperform them in ways we can prove. Take one of the biggest feats so far, matrix multiplication. I know it sounds like some dusty math term, but this operation is everywhere. It's in image processing, machine learning, and even in your phone. AlphaEvolve developed a method that outperforms the Strassen algorithm, which has been the gold standard in this area for over 50 years. And it just doesn't tweak it. It delivered the same results with fewer calculations. Fewer calculations, that's going to mean faster processing and lower energy use, and that's not an academic win. That's the kind of breakthrough that affects everything from your smartphone to cloud servers and those things that are running your apps. And it doesn't stop there. Alpha Evolve is also improving how jobs are scheduled inside massive data centers, sketching better chip architectures, even optimizing the algorithms that power other AIs like Gemini. In short, it's AI helping build better AI. Pushmil Kobil, head of the AI for science at DeepMind, put it this way: this coding agent can go beyond what is known, and that's a big claim, but one that suggests a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a collaborator, pushing boundaries of what's possible. Now you might wonder, is this really new or is this still just remixing? One of the test researchers, Matej Balong, pointed out something very important. With things like AI generated text or images, it's tough to prove novelty. But with algorithmic breakthroughs, especially in mathematical domains, you can prove it. In AlphaEvolve's case, they've shown that these solutions are not only new, but also demonstrably better than any of the human designed ones. And crucially, the data used to train AlphaEvolve didn't include these solutions. Get this again, they were outside of the training data, and that's huge. Of course, not everyone is ready to call it revolutionary just yet. So Sanjeev Arora from Princeton takes a more cautious view. While he agrees that there are advances, but he sees them, at least for now, as relatively narrow. He points out that AlphaEvolve works best in spaces where there's a clear goal and a wide search space, like finding the best solution among millions of possibilities. Still, that's search capability is broadly useful and applies to far more complex challenges down the line. And that's where things start to scale. We've already seen AI assisting developers from building simple apps to debugging code. But AlphaEvolve takes it a step further. It's not just assisting, it's originating core ideas, creating new possibilities. DeepMind hopes that this is going to be the beginning of what they call general ingenuity, GI Joe, the more you know. Kind of AI-driven inventiveness that could reach into entirely new domains. Josh Alman from Columbia University put it well. It's not just regurgitating, it's actually doing something new. And what's especially exciting, this isn't AI working in isolation. Researchers can guide AlphaEvolve with seed ideas, starting points from human intuition. Then the system takes those seeds and evolves them into something better. It's real collaboration. If you follow DeepMind, this might sound familiar. AlphaEvolve, for example, taught itself to play Go and chess, invented strange and brilliant strategies entirely on its own. AlphaEvolve builds on that legacy. In fact, DeepMind is exploring how to combine AlphaEvolve's evolutionary techniques with AlphaZero's reinforcement learning, potentially unlocking even more creative exploration. They've done this before with Alpha Tensor and FunSearch, both focused on code efficiency and algorithmic innovation. And now the big question is, how far can this go? Neil Thompson at MIT asked whether this is the kind of AI originally can move beyond computer science. Could we aim it at a breakthrough in medicine, climate modeling, new materials, new energy sources? If AI can genuinely discover solutions in those areas, we're not just talking about faster apps, we're talking about accelerating innovation at the scale of entire scientific fields. So here's your takeaway. AlphaEvolve represents a shift. It's not just another AI model, it's the glimpse at something different. AI that invents, AI that discovers, AI that improves the best of what we know. And if that kind of ingenuity can be aimed at the world's biggest problems, the future's going to get a whole lot more interesting.